gets all the action. You can get interactive and follow all the conversation live on our YouTube channel at GNTVGH. It's now time for the business blog, and the question we are asking really is, how does a 10% increment in transport fares affecting businesses in the country? My colleague Bright Nana Kwesi Amaning has all of the information of this and many other stories in our business news segment. Stay with us.
Very good morning to you once again, and welcome to the business block segment here on The Facial Life on GNTV with me, Bright Nana Kwesi Amaning. In our first story for the business block this morning, where passengers have confirmed a 10% increase in transport fares, which began yesterday, June 4, 2018. The increment has seen the addition of 20 pesos, 30 pesos, and in some cases 50 pesos to transport fares. Road transport operators announced the increment last week. Now, Transport Relations Officer for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, Moro Abbas, explained the many factors which contributed to the increment and noted that fuel hikes is only one of them. He spoke in a phone interview on the First Show earlier yesterday.
The increase in fares comes after an agreement between the operators and other stakeholders in the transport sector, including the government. They also indicated that import taxes and increase in prices of spare parts, among others, influenced the increase in fares. The road transportation operators stated that the initial increment was 15%, but upon consultation with the government, they settled on 10%. Meanwhile, some members of the public have expressed their displeasure over the increment. They believe the increment will put them in a dire economic challenge. Industrial Relations Officer of the GPRTU, Abbas Moro, stated that aside the 10% increment last Friday, there has been another increment which is yet to be reviewed by the GPRTU.
We were given 10% across board. Although we were not satisfied with that, as I said, we are always law abiding, so we are in to manage that. But surprisingly, just after last Friday's 10% agreement, there has been another fuel increment. So currently, we are doing with the 10% that we have both agreed upon.
Abbas, hold on, some clarity there. So the 10% is for fair increment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, there has been another increment of fuel.
Exactly.
What percentage is it?
We haven't got to that yet.
Abbas Moro also advised all public transport drivers to avoid rounding up the percentages added to the old fares and do proper calculations to arrive at a new price given to avoid reaching extreme prices.
To you.
Yes, we have communicated by writing to all our unions, and 10% is something that how much you take times 10 divided by 100, you get your percentage. You see, so it's not anything different from or anything difficult on how to work it out. It's very easy. So everybody has to calculate. And honestly, you see, like Trotro, for instance, initially, for people who work the increment, and we have about 2 SOS, which they wave on out. You see, and at some places too, they have about 1% or 2%, then they make it round bigger. So we advise them to go back to the previous fare, so that they calculate on that to get something reasonable, which might be accurate for the current 10%.
The last time transport fares were increased was in April 2017. The fares went up by 15%, and it came at the time when the government has reduced the special petroleum tax rate from 17.5% to 15% and also abolished duty on the importation of spare parts.
And so we ask, is it only the prices of transport fares that have been increased? No. Prices of foodstuff have gone up by at least 7% between April and May 2018. Now, statistics released by Isoko Ghana shows that prices went up as much as 7 cedis for some foodstuff on the market. A variety of factors have been attributed to the rise in prices of food items. These include a drop in production, inability to cut goods from production site to market centers, as well as the rapid rate of food items going bad due to poor handling processes and inadequate storage facilities at market centers. Statistics by Isoko Ghana show that prices of your favorite foodstuffs such as vegetables, tubers and grains shoot up between April and May. For instance, the price of 250 kilograms worth of medium-sized yam tuber went up by about 7 cedis, from 564 to 607 cedis. Similarly, you would buy a 100-kilogram bag of local rice for 332.5 Ghana cedi, but the same quantity was going for 325.5 Ghana cedi in April 2018. Also, the average price for crate of tomato gained 5.85% to sell at 440 Ghana cedi in May. For the same quantity of 68 Olonka bag of gari, you would have to pay about 2% more of the 197 Ghana cedi that you would have paid in April 2018. Meanwhile, the price of a sack of cassava dropped by 3 Ghana cedi, from 75 Ghana cedi to 72 Ghana cedi. This is partly due to bumper harvest. But content manager at Isoko Ghana, Francis Dansueji, however, advises consumers to brace themselves to pay more as prices will go high this month again. This could also be attributed to the recent hikes in transport fares. Now, away from the increase in prices, where Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Yofi Grant, has commended the MTN Group for launching its initial public offer IPO in Ghana, even though the country is not its largest market. Yofi Grant indicated that MTN's IPO is so far the largest localization of any business in Ghana.
While the GIPC has been seeking to build the capacity of Ghanaians as a way to make the country more and more attractive to investors, MTN has joined the course to help resolve the issue of engaging and building capacity in Ghanaians by opening up the company to allow every Ghanaian own a stake of the telecommunication giant, even though Ghana is not its largest market. Speaking at the launch of the MTN Ghana share offer, Yofi Grant, the CEO of the GIPC, indicated the move by the telecommunication giant, which is by far the largest localization of any business in Ghana, will help develop the economy.
Ghana is really attractive as a country. After an average GDP growth of somewhere around 6% for 5 years, last year we got our highest over a certain period of 8.5% growth. Exceeding our own target of 7.9% growth. And as I mentioned, that was on the back of difficult but very transformational economic policies, making sure we have a stable macroeconomic environment, but also setting the economy for irreversible, sustainable growth. And so we are indeed very happy that despite the fact that we are not your largest market, you've decided to do your IPO in Ghana and localize the economy such that Ghanaians have a good part of it.
He further urged Ghanaians to take advantage of the opportunity to join a dynamic company that is very transformational and plays a very critical role in the economy with many interventions, adding that such dynamic traits is what will help to boost economic development and make the economy even more competitive.
For us at GIPC, and I dare say on behalf of government, we are very appreciative. Because one of the issues that we've had is as we become more and more attractive, how do we engage our own people and build capacity in them? And I dare say that there's no better demonstration of local content than having a significant IPO where you give priority to Ghanaians.
And that's all for business this morning. We've been live here on GNTV, live giving you a business update when it comes to business blog and what is trending on the Ghanaian market. And so I am Brian Amaning, and thanks for watching the business segment here on the business blog here on First Show live on GNTV with me, Brian Amaning. Don't forget, learn to save and learn to invest. Have a good business morning.
Sure, you're not excited about the business news because it's being increment hike here and there, increment in transportation by 10%, increment in petrol by 4.8%, as well as increment in food stuff. Where are we really going as a nation? What has gone wrong with the economy? And what really baffles me is the fact that we are being warned for an extra increment with the food stuff in the coming month. What can we do as business experts to curb the situation to ensure that we are all fine and safe as a nation? Make sure you join us again in our subsequent bulletin as our business team delves more into some of these increments in First. It's still the First Show live on GNTV, and a very big thank you to my colleague Brian Amaning for those business updates. It's now time for us to go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be having a conversation with the general manager of Pentrust. They are celebrating 5 years in the industry. You can call them babies with sharp teeth and they won't be angry, because guess what? They are making some giant strides in the industry. So make sure you stay with us, and when we come back, the conversation continues. But today it's Tuesday Wahala, and we'll be focusing on the Accra Circle interchange. What is happening there? What have junkies turned that beautiful interface into? That's for Tuesday Wahala for today. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Pay Global app. Pay Global allows you to